Batman number 54 is just a reminder that if you have enough money, you can do whatever you want. Like, if you see a kid experience a tragedy, you can just be like, yeah, I'll take him. I'll just take that kid. And people are like, and you just flash them like your black Discover card, and they're like, oh yeah, you can just take him, you can just have him. So this is Batman number 54. I go back and forth on whether I like the art or not, but let's just look at this cover really quick. We see Batman and Robin telling us to look at what's over here, and then bam, we get punched by Batman. He plays dirty. But, the previous arc was the Cold Days. I was very into that, and I think, this is just a one-shot. Old Tom King, our Lord and Savior, is just, he's taking a little break before he probably gets into some other stuff. So, let's just get right in, and oh no. Oh god. Yeah, this is never good when you see this flying grace and stuff, because, they had probably a million shows where everything worked out, but we all know about that one, and it's sort of infamous. But I do want to ask everybody, like, we all know how it affected Robin, blah 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 blah. We know about that. What about other people in the audience? Has there ever been another DC character that's like, I saw the Flying Graysons, and it fucked me up, and I became Salamander Man? Like, I don't know. I just feel like if I saw something like that, either I would get super into trapeze, which would be just immediate red flags for everything. Just imagine meeting someone and be like, yeah, I'm really into trapeze. It's like, what the fuck? You can't, that's not an interest you can have. You can only be interested in trapeze if you've been brought up in the circus, and even then, you gotta break that circus cycle. But we get into this and we see they do that coloring. I don't know if you can really tell on the camera where they use the dots. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I don't know what this type of coloring is called. I always forget about it. But you see everybody's freaking out, and then it switches to Nightwing down here. And then you'll notice the whole thing is just like when Dick first came around, and then him as Nightwing. Just the progression of a relationship. I mean, it's rated T on the cover, but no, this is like some G-rated stuff right here. So we see this guy who's got a quilt of the Quilt of Crazy quilt. Well, that's a mouthful. Refers to my mastery over the Quilt of Colors. A quilt about Between the Buried and Me's best album? I don't know. Which I will now use to hypnotize you. Then you, Batman and Nightwing, will be mine for what? I don't know. Probably some despicable sexual games. But I'm just gonna tell you, if you're a villain, don't go with the rainbow scheme. You got Mr. Lightbright over here. He's not menacing at all. I'm not afraid. Look at these guys. I'm fucking terrified of these guys. This is the first time I've ever seen this villain, and I gotta tell you, I wouldn't even give you a side glance if you tried to mug me. And like, I'm little. You could mug me. I've reiterated enough times that if somebody put me on a hook that was just like 6 feet off the ground, I would starve to death on that hook and die, and eventually my skeleton would just fall to the floor. But this I'm not afraid of this guy. So Nightwing, he's just making fun of him. He's got a sewing obsession, and he doesn't sew. It's just a quilt. It's just a quilt. You know what? If your two hobbies in this life are quilts or trapeze, I'm going to give you the go-ahead to pursue the trapeze. At least it's physical. It's dangerous. But don't wear a rainbow onesie. Rainbow is not scary at all. Whatsoever. So, this thing is pretty, this comic is pretty tame. So we see, he just keeps making fun of him. I mean, I'm still not frightened. I mean, is that a mustache? If it's a mustache, my fear will ratchet up a little bit, because, like, once you bring mustaches into stuff, it gets more real for some reason. Like, I saw, like, a tough-looking dude the other day, like a tough-looking Italian guy, but he had a pencil mustache. And I was like, no, you can't. Italian people aren't allowed to have facial hair. You can have slick back hair, but that's it. That's all you got. Nothing on the face. So he says, if you like take out your needlework and start poking or something, he's just making fun of him. But then he has a nightmare about the poking. We learn that he has a really deep-seated fear of being poked. But then, I just, you know what, I gotta point out this, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles advertisement. This thing looks like garbage. And I don't even care that April O'Neil is now a black teen. I mean, it's weird that she's a teen. Because it's like she worked at the news station. That opened up a lot of avenues for stories. But look at these turtles. What the fuck? Are these horns? What is this? What is this mouth? I don't know. How is it that we had the best Ninja Turtle drawing in the 80s and they just keep getting progressively worse? Like, how did that shit even work out? What the hell? So we see he's having the nightmare. He wakes up and then Bruce comes in and he yells, "Dick!" And it's like, hey man, this kid just had a nightmare. Don't burst in with the name calling. He's like, it's okay. It's a dream. You're saved, man. He says, you're here with me now. And then it has a flash forward to Nightwing hugging him. It's like, it's all about parallels, man. He hugs him as he's a kid. That's going to pay off 20 years later when he hugs you. And so he just gives him some shit about being dumped at the altar. And he asks him how long he's going to be here. And he's like, as long as you need me. He's like, I don't need you, Bruce. Just because you got dumped at the altar doesn't mean you need to be hitting these straight up real facts right now. There's 100% real truth. You do not need Nightwing. But don't lash out. Because he could ruin your life. You know what? We need a storyline where Nightwing just is like, you know what? Yeah, fuck you, Bruce. He's Batman. He goes to all the papers. Just, you need to watch your tongue when you're around this kid. So, he goes off. He says he's going to investigate the freeze thing, which is the previous arc here. But there's a mention of cucumber sandwiches. And you know what? You got to remember the cucumber sandwiches. Because there's going to be a callback to that. And I just have to point out, cucumbers suck dick. I've given them plenty of chances. They suck. Probably my least favorite vegetable. I mean, I'm not even really a big fan of broccoli, but you put some beef and broccoli in there and you cook it. Yeah, I'm down. I once told my friend, we were talking about our favorite vegetables because that's the level of maturity in our conversations. I said pickles. He gave me such shit. He's like, you can't do that because pickles are cucumbers. So I had to go with garlic. Comment below what your favorite vegetable is. This is top tier entertainment here. So he says he wants the cucumber sandwiches. He's like, he'll take him for the cave. As for me, whoa, flashback. I'm not hungry. This kid's fucking angry as shit. And he says, cucumber sandwiches are gross. What do you even put on a cucumber sandwiches? I mean, I'm white. I feel like that's the thing I should know. I feel like mayo's definitely involved. But then is it just mayo, cucumber, and... God, fucking, like, anything that's served at a country club? No, I bet you at country clubs you're not even allowed to have like a bottle of hot sauce. You can't have Frank's hot sauce in a country club. Like, what the fuck? I gots to have me some hot sauce. If I'm eating a cucumber sandwich, I gotta put some kind of something on there to choke that shit down. To apparently impress my ultra rich in-laws that I am desperately seeking their approval. So he says, cucumber sandwiches are gross. You're gross, dick. This house, this food, this furniture, this air, it smells, everything is gross. I mean, there's no arguing on that because, look, we've seen Wayne Manor plenty of times. They got one butler. This is literally a mansion, and we got the underground cave network down there. Let me ask you something. Do you honestly think that Alfred is dusting the place? Fuck. No. Has anyone seen him with a feather duster? Has anyone seen him with some Pine Sol or some Pledge or just a rag in his hand actually cleaning something? No. You know why? Because he has the hottest piece of gossip in all of Gotham. He could just whip that out at any moment. He could just be ruining lives. I mean, he knows the alter ego, the real identities of the villains too. So he's like almost the most dangerous man in Gotham. So he doesn't have to clean. Like, do you think Bruce has ever been like, the toilet? Probably. Just put it like a scrubbing bubbles thing in there. And Alfred just like, and just walks out of the room. I'm just saying, yeah, it probably is pretty gross because I don't think Alfred actually cleans. I think as soon as those parents died, he was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to clean anymore. Because I feel like there was a whole cleaning staff, and then they died, and Alfred's like, I'm the head bitch in charge. All you guys go. He but he accrues their salaries. Holy shit, is Alfred a millionaire himself? What's going on with this butler? What's the schemes going on here? Just saying, everything is gross. I once read a Batman comic, I can't remember what it was, but someone refers to Wayne Manor as like a living mausoleum, because it's just so dead. And then there's a couple pages where they run into a guy called the Condiment King, which, what? I don't know if that's his joking title for the guy, but he looks like he has a flamethrower, but it's got ketchup. Plus side, it's not going to explode like most flamethrowers. Downside, probably gets real crusty. I mean, you know, sometimes the ketchup gets crusty. You try to shoot a guy with it, and then you're the one with ketchup on your face. And we cut to, shit, I didn't even mean to show that. My bad. Don't even look at it. But we see this. Back to Dick being a kid. The chandeliers are broken. I'm a flying grace, and I was flying. And you know what? I gotta ask you this: what kind of cheap ass chandelier did Bruce's parents buy? I mean, this kid is like, what, 50 pounds? And he has at least seen some trapeze work done. He's most suited to be able to grab onto the chandelier. How did he get up there? It's at least like 30 feet up. Where's the ladder? Did he get a ladder and then kick it? Because I'm definitely getting a ladder, but I definitely would kick it because I'm making that commitment that I'm going to hang on the chandelier. Maybe I die, maybe I don't die. I've got nothing to lose. My parents are dead, and I'm living with this fucking weird guy who just flashed a credit card, and he now owns me. I'm just saying, cheap chandelier, what's going on here? So then they bond over football and chips, which I think that's just gonna be a lesson to anyone out there. If you need to get a kid to like you, maybe your own kid, maybe your like significant other's kid, maybe just some kid on the street, because you have the worst type of sexual appetite. You gotta get the kid to like you. You're gonna want football and chips. I mean, how many people wouldn't have reported all these priests if the priests would have buttered the kids up with football and chips? I mean, it's like, oh yeah, Jesus, 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 and then you get raped. You're like, oh, I got nothing out of that deal. But you give a kid football and chips, maybe you get to stay in that church. You don't have to be moved around, because that's apparently their modus operandi. So then we see back to being Nightwing. There's some stuff about, I'll bet you a penny I can do this, and he says 37 bounces. He bets him a penny. Now let's go ahead and count. We got 1 bounce. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 37. Okay, forget about the football and chips. You need to be educating a kid. I mean, this is what happens when you just try to get a kid to like you, and you just talk about football and chips all the damn time. And then he hits 37 times, and he calls it 37. Is Nightwing the most unintelligent person in the DC universe? Because this, I mean, not even close to 37. He's like, I'll take the big penny, and then Bruce, he starts laughing, but then he starts crying in a thing that I've only seen done in movies where somebody's laughing hysterically, and then he starts crying, and then it ends. But then there's a callback to the, hey, want to get some cucumber sandwiches later? So this comic is a lesson that if you don't like cucumber sandwiches, you can learn to like them if you're in a situation where you have to like them. I don't know what world I'm living in where I have to be liking cucumber sandwiches, but apparently it's possible to build up an immunity to the lack of taste. Or at least, I don't know, put some Dijon mustard on there, and secret or something. And also, Alfred does not clean a damn thing.